now, the nobody saw it happen, but it's totally a product of Trump's America hoax hate crime of the week.
Ah, shit, it's backwards. You think they'll notice?
Well, it's a very special treat. It's a rarity. It is reverse hoax hate, a Trump supporter who falsely claimed to have been victimized by pro-Biden vandals and arsonists. Back in September 2020 in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, there was a fire at Dennis Mola's home. He said he heard an explosion and his garage door was vandalized with Biden 2020 and BLM and Antifa graffiti. First responders extinguished the fire, but it burned down his garage. It totaled 3 vehicles, and it dealt minor damage to his home. Mola has a family, including several children and his wife, and several pets, but nobody was hurt. He said this was an attack all because of his Trump flag that he flies outside his home. Here's an original report from the time, September 2020, and then the update this week.
Brooklyn Center police say the fire started around 4 Wednesday morning at a home in the 6900 block of Morgan Avenue North. Police officers and firefighters rescued 3 dogs and 5 puppies from the home. The garage and 3 vehicles were destroyed. Police say the criminals also spray painted the garage with Biden 2020 and BLM. They also say a Trump 2020 sign was also destroyed.
The first thing that came to our mind was the Trump flag. It's scary to know that my beliefs has created such an anger and such evil.
He said that someone started the fire and sprayed Biden 2020, BLM, and an Antifa symbol on his garage door. Investigators say that Mola did all the damage himself and got about $61,000 in insurance money, plus another $17,000 from a GoFundMe. He's charged with fraud.
Yeah, he's a mask-wearing minority. I don't believe any of this, obviously.
Well, I wasn't going to... All right. Deciding if I want to dispute that point or not. But the mask is a dead giveaway. I'll give you that.
I like to render you speechless.
Yeah, when I start stammering. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I was emailed this story by a listener at the time in September 2020, and I said, that's fake for sure. I should have provided a screenshot of the email, but you know, I shouldn't brag too much because I say that about news stories all the time. Oh, that's fake for sure. And as it was demonstrated this week, I'm not always correct with the knee-jerk
It'd be a bad way to do that
reaction.
Maybe.
So I may have been wrong this week, but in 2020, I said it one time and I got it right. Anyway, 2 counts of wire fraud against Dennis Mola, specifically. A federal crime. So this is actually, it's related to his fraudulent fundraising, and that's a federal crime, I guess, because of the interstate implications of such transactions. Now, prosecutors say Mola spray painted his own property and lit it on fire, and that a review of cameras in the area showed no unknown males near his home, as he had alleged. When his insurance company denied some of his claims, and remember, he got $60,000+ out of the insurance company, but some of the claims were denied for whatever reason, he submitted complaints that the company was defrauding him and threatened to report the company to the Minnesota Attorney General. So he was alleging fraud or breach of contract against the insurance company while defrauding them. Well played. Mola has been released from custody without bail on a promise to appear in court. We'll see if that happens. He does face a prison sentence of up to 20 years. So we will see what results from that. Meanwhile, in the Hyde Park neighborhood of Boston, construction has been in progress on a new housing complex renovated from an old school building. Scheduled to open in the fall of next year, the building will feature 74 housing units for LGBT seniors. The name they're going with for this place is Pride, P-R-Y-D. The Pride Building, P-R-Y-D building. For a LGBT retirement home, I think they should go with Old Homo Villa. They should have gone with...
Is that a Skag original?
Old Homo Villa instead of Pride with a Y. But I'm not into gay retirement home branding. It's not my business. Anyway... at the Pride Building, not Old Homo Villa, but the Pride Building, vandals apparently spray painted homophobic messages on the construction signs
Were they funny?
On the fencing. Well, I think we can see some of them. It's your typical construction scene. You have fencing encircling the entire property, and there's signs on it that say such and such construction company or keep out or safety rules or whatever. Those have graffitied homophobic messages now. And of course, the community rallied to cover up those hateful messages with messages of love.
A hate crime in the heart of
blurred 'em
Hyde
out.
Park. The target, a building being transformed into housing
Two genders.
for older LGBTQ residents.
Dozens of people coming out here to push back against this. They quite literally covered up that hate speech with some signs of their own.
I have to just say, they really chose the wrong old ladies to mess with.
Mayor Michelle Wu promising some accountability for this. She says that her team is looking over some nearby security video Boston police are investigating.
This might be legit.
Well, if it is legit, it's very polite of these vandals to
It
go.
just said there are two genders.
Yeah, they were very the ones I've seen didn't even use any slurs as far as I saw.
Don't you feel like if you would fake it, you'd be like old dyke die or something? You know, like you wouldn't say like there are two genders.
Well, I don't know. At the same time, if it was authentic, that's such a stereotypical thing to put on there. If it was real hate, why would I vandalize just the temporary signage too? Why would I be so polite as to only damage the least valuable things on the property?
I don't know, man. I'm 70-30 on this one.
Well, if it is real, I suppose it's possible. A side point on this, though, I was watching it and I thought, well, how is it possible that they have gay-only apartments for rent? First of all, how do you prove that you're gay at Old Homo Villa? Do you have to? Is there a hazing ritual to get into this facility to demonstrate your gayness? And even if there is, I thought that there are anti-discrimination housing laws that prevent consideration of such things. Well, I found the answer in Boston Herald's coverage. They say at the bottom of the story, an earlier version of this story said that the Pride will be reserved for LGBTQ seniors. The housing actually will be welcoming to all people who are over 62 and meet income requirements for affordable housing. So it's just gay in branding, but not in practice. You can, in fact, not prove your homosexuality and still get housing at this facility when it becomes available. As far as the investigation, Boston Police Civil Rights Unit investigating the case actively. No suspect, no arrest at this point.
What a surprise.